Well, hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Farm Sim 17. And we're here on this South American map. And, well, you may notice it isn't summer anymore. I have, in fact, skipped from midsummer right through till autumn. Well, there was so little to do, to be honest with you. And an honest opinion, guys. What do you really think of this map? You know, I've been on it for a little while now. Well, I'll give you my opinion because, well, heck, you're stuck listening to it. I've been on it for a little while. I've been from one end of it to the other. I've done missions on pretty much all the fields. And one thing really comes to mind, and that is generic. It's a very uninspiring, unexciting map. There's very, very little going on. I mean, we have one more crop to deal with. You know, Pine Cove Productions, I have, what, 5 different crops that aren't on normal maps? You know, so it's hard to get really excited about it. Now, granted, it does come with a little bit of new gear, and it's alright. But yeah, it's not like we couldn't transplant this sugarcane and the new gear onto pretty much any other map. So yeah, and as I said, without the animals in place, there literally was absolutely nothing. Well, other than some missions, and there's a bit of an issue there that I'll get into here. Other than doing some missions, there was honestly absolutely nothing to do. With the added length of time that it takes on this sugarcane, even fertilizing this field wasn't ready till early autumn. Now, I mean, that's cool that this has a different growth cycle. I have no problem with that. But it literally meant yesterday there was absolutely, well, yesterday, the entire midsummer season, there was absolutely nothing to do. And if I wasn't the type that, you know, had no issues with doing logging, now I know a lot of people, they don't like doing the logging. And I don't blame them. I mean, this is Farming Simulator, and if that's what you got into, then, well, yeah. You know, certainly it would be entirely a matter of choice whether you thought the logging was a good addition or not. You know, just like Seasons, just like MR or anything else that basically is a modded into the game type of thing, which, let's face it, the logging was. It's not giants that invented the whole forestry system in this game, right? We're aware that it was an idea they liked, so they thought they'd keep from the modding community. But nonetheless, yeah, it's an incredibly generic map. There's really nothing exciting. Now, this could be, of course, because, well, I tend to go towards the, you know, value-added or production or whatever you'd like to call them type of maps. So they have a, you know, an inherent level of complexity that you're not going to get on a standard map to start with. You know, Pine Cove Productions just happens to be a rather exaggerated version of that, but certainly a good example. And I notice a lot more modded maps tend to lean towards that. They will have some sort of value-added production, right? But as I say, I would be interested in... oops, I don't want to waste that fertilizer. We don't really have a lot of it left. Yeah, I would be interested in knowing what you guys think of the map in general. I know a lot of you have either played it or at least tried it, and how many of you are sticking with it would probably be a good indicator as well. But yeah, just my thoughts on it. I've also noticed there's some kind of oddities. Now, I don't know if it's because we've basically taken a map that's, you know, was made to be played very generically and very straight up, and added seasons. go. Alright, now that's had double ferts. Yeah, we have things to harvest, but as you can see, the first time we got rain was, of course, the night before the harvest, so we can't. Unfortunately. Yeah. I wonder if there's enough of this to do the grass field with. I believe it's the only other thing that doesn't require extra fertilizer. See, from here you can actually see. I ended up cutting the grass yesterday, but then it rained, so I couldn't tether it, so I advanced it a day. But now it's grown over, so there is actually a good row of grass underneath all of that. I'm going to do another cut here pretty quick, and then we'll tether the whole thing and see what we manage. Alright, let's hit you. Ah, yeah, good. We are, in fact, managing to fertilize. We're not quite out to the edge, but that's okay. There we are. Yeah, one of the oddities that I did notice when I've gone to do missions is I'll go to some of the fields where I had missions before. Now, I do understand that obviously, just like we do, they have to wait for a growth cycle to pass to nice, do anything else with their fields. But even allowing for that growth cycle to pass, some of the fields simply seem to be in a state of abandonment. Now, it could be that they're doing what real farmers do, and, you know, you don't plant every field every year if you want them to last, right? You do need to rotate crops. You occasionally need to leave a field, you know, completely unplanted, whatever, and just leave it fallow for a season. I have a feeling that's not the issue here. But a lot of the fields, even the little ones where I've been trying to, like I say, reduce them down to the point where they'll become very viable so we can start setting up production, I'll go there and there'll be no missions. And then I'll advance an entire season and there's still no missions. In fact, if we look at the main map, which I'll do here after I get this done, we'll see that a lot of fields still, with the new harvest season upon us, are showing as harvested, and they've been that way since spring. So nothing at all is being done to these fields. It's just seems strange, you know. And it's not just some of the little fields either. You know, I've been kind of concentrating on those because, like I said, I would really like to, you know, bring the price down. So if we do decide to stay on this map for a length of time to get production going, you know, get a few factories down, the coffee plantation, things like that. You know, we'll have to try and figure out what's going on, because as I said, it's even some of the larger fields, right? And let's run this down. We should be just about done here. We'll just run out the rest of whatever we've got in here. And then all we can really do is hope that that sun beating down is going to do what we need it to do and dry our crops out. Alright, let's get this last little bit at the end. The field's not rectangular, so it does not come out even. And of course, when I'm guessing at what should be lines and what shouldn't, it ain't going to come out even either. Because I'm not very good at that. Okay, that should do it. And good thing too, because we've got, ooh, look, 4. Yes, indeed. Yeah, as I said, I would be really interested in your guys' view of the map in general. I mean, this was their big, you know, platinum outlay, the one that they do every time a year in, pretty much to the day, usually. You know, they release the platinum content with some new gear and a new map, and, well, we've all been there. We all know what it is. But, yeah, I don't know. I didn't find this one terribly exciting. But, oh well. And I say the oddities with some of these field missions and stuff are just, well, that odd. Yeah. Well. Looks like this is going to let me do another cut. Interesting. There's unfortunately not much else we can do until that wet crop symbol disappears. And then, well, then we have soybean to harvest and a few things like that. Second headland in here. Of course, we won't be able to do much else, but it's okay. That's okay. Now, last time I had to wait for a wet crop thing to dry up. It was around noon, I believe, that I finally decided to give me a break and let me start my day's work. So I'm really hoping this turns out somewhat the same. I think I'm going to do a headland on this side this time. I didn't the last time and I kind of regretted it. I think maybe what I'll do here is speed things up a little bit, at least. This embankment is really a drag up here, let me tell you. It's just enough to mess this little thing up. There we go. Run this back right on top of the other row. I mean, we should get a pretty good set of bales, though. This is a double cut, after all. So, I'm hoping say that this is going to turn out really good. And then come spring, with any luck at all, we'll be able to start collecting some critters. Again, that's if we, you know, stay with it and all that. I'm also a little concerned because as far as I know, I mean, although we have the Seasons mod and all that on there, I don't know that there's actually anything in the way of a quote-unquote snow mask, etc. Because it's not like this is actually a Seasons-ready map. So, as far as I know, I mean, we're running the Paraguay Geo, but I think that only controls, you know, sort of the numbers that are going on with Seasons. If you know where I'm coming from. You know, how many days of rain as compared to dry, as compared to, you know, temperatures, etc. That sort of thing. Regional differences, as opposed to actual game mechanic differences. So, I mean, it may well be that all of the bales we're collecting up are not going to see through the winter. Who knows? We shall see, though. We shall see. Just, there needs to be more to this map than fancy colors. Ugh, I'm going to go another speed up, I think. Every time I looked up, that clock was saying the exact same thing. Uh-oh. My kitties are going cuckoo. Well, hopefully they restrain themselves and keep it out of my room here. You know, you want to play with your sister, Dexter, you go out in the other room. Okay? I'm trying to make a video, buddy. No. Oh, come on now. Sorry about that. He gets very insistent, and he's figured out that my hand on the mouse is an important thing, so that's his target when he wants attention, is he will try and bump my hand off the mouse. It ain't gonna happen, fella. Well, when I see him coming, it ain't gonna happen. He's got me off guard more than once. Ah, ta-da! The damp crop has gone away. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Alright, I'm going to slow back down to 5x, because we do have a little bit of harvesting to get through, but... Okay. Alrighty. I do want to finish this last cut as well. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa. I forgot there was stuff parked around this corner. That a good boy. You go out in the hallway and yell at your sister. That'll help. Alright, let's finish this cutting and we'll drag out the harvester. It's good that we have a little bit of money because we're going to need a corn header. I don't think we have one. We might. I don't know. I don't remember. After all, we haven't had to so much as move the harvester since we started the games. Let's get the rest of this chopped. So it looks like popular consensus, and a huge, huge thanks to all of you for commenting. I was surprised, actually, quite a few people did chime in. But it looks like, for the most part, you guys would like to see me do a playthrough of the upcoming game, Farmers Dynasty. So, I will grab it on the 14th when it is available. And I've noticed, oddly enough, for some reason out here on the West Coast, things tend to unlock pretty darn late compared to other places. And I mean, see what I mean about that embankment? It's just enough to mess with this guy. And I mean, beyond the, 3-hour time difference between the East Coast and Central, and, the 6 hours or whatever it is from East to West. But, yeah, beyond that, it just seems odd. Like the daily refresh on Steam for me comes about 10 a.m. my time. Right? But game releases, I've seen as late as 6 p.m. the same day that they're supposed to be released. So, no idea. No idea. I haven't bothered to look into Steam's mechanics on that end of things to figure out if they have, 2 release points during a day or all of that sort of thing. There must be some standardization. Back when rentable videos was actually a thing, there was even a standardization there. Every Tuesday was new releases would be put out on the shelves, things like that. So, don't know what Steam's deal is. And one more row. And we are done cutting the grass, at least for the moment. There we go. Get this last bit. Awesome. Of course, I do have to tedder and windrow and all the happy, happy, joy, joy, but we'll get to that. We will indeed. So yeah, Farmers Dynasty. Day after tomorrow, look for the first episode. Indeed. There we are. There we are. Nice. Not bad. And that is a double thick row, so that said, we should get a pretty decent growth out of it. And I suppose that other field there of grass is ready, but as I have just laid fertilizer down, I think we'll be nice and leave it for a moment. Alrighty. Here we go. Off to the harvester. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I mean, it is a pretty map, don't get me wrong. She's a very pretty map. But, well, here you are. By all rights, I should have offed this harvester for one of the MR ones, I suppose. But we will do what we must do. Now, I know we can't grab our corn at the moment, and that's okay. Do I have a corn header? Yo! Oh, thank you. I thought for a minute there we were going to crash. Nope. Oh, that's the grass cutter, okay. No, we don't, actually. Headers. Wonder what that's going to cost us. What is that going to cost us? Probably here. Oh. Do I have any non... Ah, here we go. Now, do I have any non-corn cutting type? I don't think I do I? Because I don't know that I want to run an MR header on a non-MR combine. Oh, well, I don't think we're going to have a choice. Well, we'll see how we do. I may... Alright, do you... anything on you open? No. Okay. How about... anything on there? Not really? Alright, well, just curious. Just curious. Now, this is... what, soybean, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so we don't need to worry about straw. Oh. It won't turn on. There we go. And we're away. Am I missing it? Really? Oh man. Not even close, eh? Okay, that's a little deceptive. What are you cutting down? Stop it. Apparently there's crops there we don't even know about. Okay, how does that look in here? Alright, so you gotta be a little bit inside of that for sure. Alright. Wow, our first harvest underway. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Not exactly racking up the beans. Of course, I guess soybeans aren't exactly a big producer, are they? I would imagine that darn near everything we see here is being turned into scrap. Very little of it is probably actually usable. You know what I mean? Okay. Just curious, just making sure the corn was actually ready. I figure if his field's ready, ours probably is as well. Alright. Probably. Well, it's not a bad looking machine, eh? Kind of unusual having a harvester where you don't get to look down into the actual grain bin. Instead, we're looking at the engine. Very cool. Looks good, though. Looks pretty good indeed. Not a whole lot of bits and pieces whirling around as we're sort of getting used to on other equipment, but it's probably a fairly basic animal to start with, so I suppose we shouldn't expect too many animations. Wow, 2 rows. I'd expected a little more crop, though. Hopefully we don't do this this poorly on the rest. Because we are counting on a lot for this. Or counting on this a lot, I should say. Figure out how to speak English eventually. So I did do a couple of missions to make up for the vehicle rentals. I mean, what the heck, if they're going to double dip us every time for repairs and maintenance, we got to make sure we got the money ready. So I think we're currently, well, we're under $2,000 a day for equipment maintenance, which I guess is all right. We don't have a whole lot, but we seem to have enough. Plus a couple of things. Like I say, we're going to have to buy a water trailer. Those sort of things. Of course, the other deal, too, is that... yeah. I don't have any crop this time around that's going to produce straw. I don't know what I was thinking putting soybean down, to be honest with you. Yeah. Because we have no grain crop. I guess when I was thinking we would have another field that we could use for that, but, that's not good. In fact, that's really not good. Because that doesn't prepare us to get animals in the spring. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll work it this way. I will go and do missions on farms that are running grain crops. And, I mean, I know they'll chop all their straw. We won't see any of it. But then I'll use the money from those missions, specifically grain cutting missions, harvesting missions, which I will have to do pretty darn quick, I guess, to buy straw bales. And we'll buy a couple stacks or whatever it takes and put those in, and then we will plant a proper crop of cereal on this field. Let's see how that goes. But for something that's been both oh, no, it wasn't, was it? That's right. This field was not plowed. Oh well. I'll have to make a decision about that. Alright, I'm going to hire up a worker. We'll go and grab a tractor and trailer because that's going to be full in a minute. Yeah. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Come on. Run, man, run. There's the trailer. And there's just the tractor for us as well. Where's my other tractor anyway? Huh. I know we've got our, it's just around the corner here, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. I think we're gonna use this guy. Actually, no. We're not. We're gonna use this guy. I want to use an MR tractor with the MR trailer. In fact, we may just sell that Stara. And get ourselves another MR model. Because I don't know when... I know that they have said they will be expanding the MR model, or the MR mod, I should say, to the Platinum Pack, but when that may be is, whoopsie. Anybody's guess. Alright, here we go. Let's grab our first bit of crop. Of course, while I was fast-forwarding time to get to the new seasons, there was great demands for pretty much every crop on the map. We were unable to take advantage, including wood chips, of course. The very last one that I got before I switched to morning was wood chips. Great demand at the sawmill for wood chips. Okay, yeah, you guys were paying me like $1,300 a trailer load yesterday. Now you're gonna pay double that? You buggers. You buggers. Oh, hang on. No point leaving the motor running. We're not producing fuel anywhere on this map. Alright. Then get rid of the hired worker. And we'll get back to it. Can't afford to spend money on hiring people. I appreciate them taking over for a few minutes, but that is really all I can do. Alright, and we're off. $77. Oh, we're running at 5x. Dang. Ugh. I hate hiring workers when I'm running it. More than single. I know, I'm just cheap. I don't like paying them 5 times the wages for the same amount of work. I don't know if that could even be classed as cheap. It just seems practical. Almost necessary. Yes. So I think what I'll do before we harvest the corn is, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, M, that isn't going to get me anything. Let me have a look here at... maybe not. I guess they're included. I thought for a moment maybe the, because I've got the, I believe I have the Massey Ferguson. I know I do, actually. Yeah, I do. I have the Massey Ferguson pack installed. That's the harvest, or the baler we're using. So yeah, I guess it doesn't include. Yeah, unfortunately not. Okay. Yeah, there's the Massey. And it comes only with a grain cutter. So yeah, I may simply install some harvester mod, you know what I mean? Like, as long as it comes with a corn header. And preferably not a John Deere. Stick a green header on the front of this thing. It's going to look like a Christmas tree rolling down the field. Or a Christmas gift or whatever. You know, red and green, Christmas colors. right? Yes, indeed. That's, can't say as that's the most convenient way to turn those gauges. You notice that? Kind of weird. You would think that once you have a nice little housing like that, you could have turned them to pretty much any angle you wanted. If I were to purchase this machine, I would probably ask that they loosen the bezels off and turn all of those things about 45 degrees to the west. Widdershins, counterclockwise, however you want to look at it. How are we doing here? Man, we're just not filling this thing up, are we? Just not. Oh well. Eventually it will. It's got kind of an uneven cut to it too, eh? We're that close on this side and way out on that side. Strange. But no. I think we've all come accustomed to that in this particular game as well. You just expect it from mods and not so much from Giant's own gear. But I think, guys, it's probably getting very close to where we should call this an episode. So, there you go. We got a few things done. We finally got to add a second layer of fertilizer to our sugarcane. We've got a fair bit of grass cut, and once I'm done mooking with the fields here, I will likely tedder that. In fact, I suppose what I should probably do is consider hiring a worker for this, and go and get started on that. There we go. Ugh. I always forget. First thing they're going to do is spray all that chaff in your face. So, yeah, we got to get a trimmer out and clean that ivy off of that thing too, because that will rip it apart. I don't know if you guys have that sort of thing grows where you are, but the ivy we get around here will actually poke its way right through solid concrete walls and start growing inside your house. I've actually seen it in a couple of different places. So, yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to grab myself a bit of gear and go do some tedderating. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, well, you know what to do. Please hit that like button. Yes, I've lost my tedder. Why are you guys so surprised? It was bound to happen. No, I've lost my tedder. Oh well, I'm sure I'll find it. Well, I hope I'll find it. But until then, take care of each other, folks. And ciao for now. Where the heck did I leave my tedder? Man. Oh well.